But you have such a very good. It sounds like a very Valley Girl accent, you know, which is a very good thing.
Yeah, so
I
says the one that he
guess
has his own accent.
because I'm a valley girl that transforms into magical girls.
Hey, girl, hey.
You ever read a newspaper?
Newspaper? Viola, the girl has stars on her nipples.
I don't have much time for that.
So basically, you have absolutely no idea what's going on in the world.
Oh,
And yet you've sold over 5 million albums, CDs, to millions of kids who listen
What is she
to your
doing?
insipid lyrics. You want to know me? Look in my makeup bag. You're influencing an entire generation of kids who won't know how to think straight, or vote for a president, or remember the significance of Roe versus Wade.
oh, I don't support boxing as a sport. I think it's too violent.
Y'all better get that little girl out of there.
From the city of Marksville, Louisiana, it's Sunday, September 15th, 2013. Hello, I'm Neshoba, and won't you talk with me about video games? On tonight's show, we have a special encore presentation from last week's interview with internationally acclaimed activist Anthony Sebastian Abrahamsen and actor, director, comedian, and cross-player extraordinaire Emma-chan. In this follow-up episode, we'll be getting their views on love, gaming, sex, porn, and life. So, let's rejoin the conversation with Anthony and Emma.
Hello?
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 Where's Emma?
Well, you called me. Let's see. Add people.
No, really.
Shut up!
Skype should add a new button just saying add gays, add bisexuals, add straight people. And it's like, hey, straight people just have this.
Yeah,
Is it Emma?
he's coming.
Work.
So, are we gonna follow the schedule? Because I never end up reading it.
You didn't read it?
Oh.
No, but I have it here with me. I can follow it while we're going along.
Okay,
And
well.
Akash is not gonna be here, right?
Yeah.
She would have made this conversation so much funnier. My god, my English is bad.
No, it's not.
Oh, trust me, it is. It sounds so bad. Oh.
No, it doesn't.
Well, okay, thank you. It actually,
It's understandable.
Oh, that just makes me feel so much better.
No, really. I mean, there was
Thank you,
What I meant
Thank
to
you so
say
much.
was, but for example, like last month,
I'm
two
joking.
Filipino women were here on vacation in Puerto Rico, and they got lost, and I had to help them with directions.
Oh, okay.
And their English was very fragmented.
They were Filipino.
Yes, and they
In
were in Puerto
Puerto
Rico,
Okay.
and they were lost. And since I'm I have a bad sense of direction. I got in the car with them and led them to where they wanted to go.
Where they wanted to go.
Yes, they wanted to go back to San Juan, so I had to lead them back to the highway, which left
The
me very far
highway.
away from home.
Sounds very nothing. It's fine.
What does it sound like? I know where your brain is going. You better just tell them.
Oh, it's always in the gutter.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna.
He's like
Sorry,
he's listening
girl.
to
I'm
this and he's
always
like,
like that.
aha, so they were strange men and then you led them to the
No,
highway.
I said Filipino
If you
woman,
wanted to
not
go, it
men.
sounds like, okay, that sounds very creepy. And I got into the same car. It's like, okay, it sounds like a beginning of a cheesy film or stuff like that. And wanted to go outside of the city. It's like, oh, is that one of those very amateur
Oh, but I
Filipino?
sometimes I prefer amateur because they're more realistic.
Oh, okay. I didn't need to know that, but okay, work. I'm joking. I'm joking. Why did you go so silent? What, did I hurt your feelings?
Me? Mine?
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay, you just got so quiet.
No, I just fall into random moments of silence because I'm like that.
Yeah.
Until
Okay.
until we start talking
Okay.
about stuff that I won't shut up about.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's good to know about next year because we're going to be talking all the time. You should oh my God, you should have been with us in San Francisco
I
during
know.
my God, I was like
Oh.
constantly thinking about you. I was constantly telling
Oh,
Jean-Luc
don't make him cry. He's crying.
I was constantly telling Jean-Luc that, oh my God, like Emma should have been here right now. Like when we were at the party during the Friday night, I was like thinking this would be so much fun if she, or sorry, he, she,
I don't
Z.
mind if you call me he or she. It's the same. It's just a pronoun.
Can I call you Z then? It's like for those people that don't want to fall into the what society wants to say of like the gender that you're born with, a gender identity, and so on. Some people just don't say, "I don't want to be called a he or she." I don't have gender. Some people say, there's some people that say that, and they say that call me by my name or call me just a Z. So
That sounds kind of cute.
Z,
A Z.
Z cuteness.
Yes, the cuteness.
Yes. But anyways, you should have been there because the party was amazing. It was
I
so
don't.
much.
I even if it wasn't because of the party, I would have liked to have been there. And besides, I think I still would
Hmm.
have been. Well, how do I say this? I'm not particularly a party animal, so
You're not
no, I don't tend to
Oh,
go out.
God.
at all.
No, not really. Yesterday I went out, but it was to my friend's house and we were watching a movie and playing Super Smash Brothers.
So no porn.
No,
Crap.
I like to keep that private.
Oh, it's a private. Emma
Yeah.
goes private. Emma Chan's private hours. Emma goes cosplay or something like that. There's actually I was going through 4chan a few years back, and on
How did you
the
crawl? No wonder your brain's in the gutter.
I know, right? I mean, seriously, after this girl introduced me to 4chan, I just ended up thinking, oh my God, what is this? What is this site? And there's some, like, if you go to CGL, there's a very good cosplay discussions. Of course, there's extreme bullying and homophobia and whatever goes, like, there's so much going on over there.
I
But
know.
from time to time, you can actually find some good ideas of characters that you haven't seen before. You can do some research on it, see some
Well,
new stuff that you haven't seen before, you know.
Puerto Rico
And
has its own 4chan. It's called
yeah,
Puerto-chan.
yeah, we have. I noticed something about myself as well because I presumably have been added to a Persian 4chan.
Really?
Yeah, I searched for my name on Google. I mean, everyone has. And not, no, I don't think it was my name. It was I think it was just a search thing about where has your blog or Tumblr been accessed from?
Oh.
And yeah, and I just noticed that oh, there's another site called Persica or something like that, and I clicked on it and set up on the banner that oh, this is the Persian 4chan. And there was someone going on Tumblr asking me a question saying, "Oh, we found out about you. We would love for you to come to this forum, and we would love having you guys over there. We love gay Persians." I'm like, if it's anything like
Let me
4chan,
ask you
then
something.
no. Oh, have you read the story about that Jean-Luc wrote for Destructoid about our
Oh.
encounter in San Francisco
Yes, I
International
did.
Airport?
I did.
Oh my God, I have never in my life. I'm not someone that is very scared from time. I'm a very fearless person, but at that point, I was like, crap. Like, where the hell is this guy? And he did it at some point, sorry, he just stops answering the phone or even sending text messages back. So I'm like, oh crap, I don't know where he is. And he said, oh, my battery died. I'm like, well, your battery shouldn't die
Well,
at this.
no, I didn't say it like that.
Well, go on then. What was the truth then,
You act like
Jean-Luc?
I just walked up to you and I was like, oh, my battery died or whatever. No, I actually like when you appeared, I dramatically
Oh my God.
ran out of the airport
Well,
and
here's the
grabbed
thing.
you and shook you.
Here's the thing. I arrived at 11 a.m. San Francisco time, yeah, California time, whatever time. Okay, and then his flight was going to land around 1:30 or something. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Sure, I could just grab my baggage and I'll just go around this airport. No worries. And then there was this humongous line, a queue of people having to get a passport check themselves and taking a picture and all that kind of stuff. Okay, fine, that's
Mm-hmm.
no worries. And it was so warm and it was so hot. People were so tired and there was kids screaming and people doing all kinds of stuff in the queue. I was like, seriously, it doesn't work like that. Just stand still and this queue will go faster if you just shut up and don't do anything. So what happened is that it was my turn, I did my stuff, came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, my baggage is right there on the floor because the baggage belt had presumably stopped. So all of the baggages were on the floor. So I was okay. There's my baggage. Fine, whatever." And I looked at the clock. He had already landed, and tells me, "Oh, I've landed. Come to baggage claim too." So I go there, and then these security guards are like asking me, so where are you going? And I'm like, I have to go to the baggage claim too. Could you help me locate it? And they said, well, you have your baggage, so why do you need to go to baggage claim too? I was like, oh God, he probably thinks I've done something or something. I was like, no, no, my friend needs to go there. Okay, you have to go down there. Okay, fine, go down there. I arrived at that place, and then these people at the exit start asking me for some idiotic question that, so where are you from? And I said, I'm from Norway. And they're like, yeah, but you have black hair, dude. So why, like,
But
you don't
wait.
seem...
Are all Norwegians not black-haired?
Well, we do have some people that have, like, genuine black hair. But I'm Iranian, you know? I was born and raised here, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens is that when I was going there, the people started asking that, oh crap, like, okay, so like if you're Norwegian, why are you so, like, your features are so dark and so exotic? So what? And I told them, well, I'm originally from Iran. My parents are from Iran, but I was born and raised in Norway. And as soon as they heard Iran, I was like, oh. And that all of the free security guards were looking at me, like scrutinizing me, like, oh, Iran. I was like, oh crap, why did I mention that word? No. So I was like, okay, so where's the baggage claim to? Okay, bye. And I had to like run out of there to have to stand there and let them ask me more questions. So then we come down and I see baggage claim 2, and then Jean-Luc fails to tell me that I have to go to American Airlines baggage claim 2.
Oh, no, wait, I did tell you.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. That's the thing. I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna stand here. Okay, he doesn't show up. So I'm like pacing back and forth from baggage claim 1 to 13 to 15, then going all the way back and forth. So we were like basically playing cat and mouse for about an hour, I think. And then automatically he just sees me, and I was stressing so bad. I think people even noticed that. What is this 6'2" guy running around with a blue shirt and a blue tie amongst
pink hair.
flip-flops? Yeah, among flip-flops and khaki pants and all that, running around with his baggage around like all of these baggage claims. I was like, oh, please don't look at me. I just need to find him. And then he, lo and behold, got us. jumps in front of me and like, oh, here I am. I was like, never do that again, ever,
Yes,
ever.
I read that part.
Anyways,
Okay.
I have a very, I don't even know how to say this, very complicated premonition that we will be either crying, laughing, and gawking at the same time if we ever meet.
gawking. Why gawking? At
I don't
who?
know.
At each other?
Yes.
Well, we'll just take you to Castro and you can just gawk at all of the hot guys over there.
I wouldn't gawk at a guy with my mouth open. That would send the wrong idea.
It's just a welcome message over there, though, sweetie. It was actually this guy in this. I was having to run into a store in Castro, needing to buy a new wallet because my wallet was getting too small.
Uh-huh.
Don't even ask. And the guy, what was it? Ricardo and Jean-Luc was going further into the store, and I ended up talking with the guy in the cash behind the cash register. And he was like asking me, so where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Iran. Oh, really? How interesting. We have some new underwear coming in this week, so we would love for you to like model them, if you know what I mean. And I was like, of course, I'm in Castro because I'm getting all of these business proposals. Yeah, but he was cute. I'll give him that. Blonde bombshell. Sadly, there was no redheads. It was a little sad.
A little sad.
It was sad. Was there any people gingers at Gamer X? I didn't notice anyone that was redheads. I did meet my crush, so that was very good.
Yeah. That was my friend Christian. I think he was.
Oh yeah, that's true. And there was a few others that were like strawberry blonde. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. And then we of course met Akasha, which was it was a very interesting way of meeting him because it was like people came like there's so many people that seem to know about me and they just come up to me and start smiling and I'm like, hi, do I know you? I'm so sorry, I don't remember your face. Or it's like, oh, this is my remember me, this is my name. I was like, oh yeah, okay, of course, if you say your name then I remember you automatically. And Eric or like Akasha comes up to me and starts like catwalking up towards me, and I'm like, why is this guy coming up to me? Why is he looking like very like wink wink nudge nudge at me? And I just asked him, who are you? I'm so sorry, I don't know you. It's like, oh, don't you remember me, Akasha? I was like, oh, Facebook wifey, of course. And of course we had to take a picture. Yes, it was fun. And of course, I met my...
Was she as Storm at the moment?
No,
it was... which day was that? I think it was Saturday. No, it wasn't Saturday.
No, Akasha came out to you as Eric, didn't she?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out which day was it that we... It wasn't Friday, because Friday was just registration and the VIP party. I think it was Saturday. He came out as Storm on Sunday during the cosplay masquerade show with Kitty Stryker.
Oh yeah, I wanted to be there. I saw the pictures and everything, and
Oh yeah, and whatchamacallit, the guy that was Sean, that was Riddick, and Lonnie that was cosplaying as Jade from Beyond Good and Evil. She was so spot on. I told them, you guys are so good at this. Like, you look identical to her. She was so sweet. She was really, really cute. And I love when people like couple cosplay. I love it.
I had never done a couple cosplay, I think.
Ever?
No?
Like, never will feel like your friend or boyfriend or anything?
What boyfriend?
Oh, we're gonna go into that. And this next segment is about love.
And now we cry.
Yes. I feel like this is turning into 20 questions about love and sex from one girl, 5 gays from Canada. Oh my god.
No,
Who wants to be the Gertza?
I haven't actually had a boyfriend in like almost 6 years.
6 years?
And now we cry again.
Oh. How
No,
old are you,
but
Emma? Like, I haven't read about. I know who you are, and I've seen your pictures, and I do follow you on, and I'm friends with you on Facebook, of course. And of course, I am friends with you. I'm not
I'm
just
gonna be
Facebook friends
24
with you.
this year.
You're 24.
I'm gonna be 24.
Oh, so you're 89? Or
Yes.
89. Which date are you born? Like, which month and date?
Month October 19th.
And
Oh, your
My
birthday's
birthday
coming
is
up soon.
before John's.
John? Who's John?
me.
John?
Jean-Luc. Yeah.
Oh, Jean. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Is it Jean-Luc or is it Jean-Luc?
Jean-Luc, it's French.
I know, but how do you want it? How do you want it to be pronounced?
Jean-Luc, or Emma can say Jean.
Or as I say, JL.
Just as long as he doesn't say Jean.
Oh yeah, I heard
What's the
about that.
What's the problem with Jean?
Oh, it
because
happened
because
during
I
DMX as well. Don't you remember? Oh,
well for me I usually get like a lot of mail intended for women because they think my name is Jean. So
Jean.
I'll get like cards in the mail that say like, oh, sign up for this sewing magazine or something like that.
Hey, I would sign up for a sewing magazine.
Hey.
Oh yeah, well.
Emma, can both of us be best friends or something? BFFs, cosplay BFFs, gay BFFs.
Well, yes, we're currently on the Facebook BFF. I don't know if you feel like I'm stalking you at the moment because every time that you put something, I'm always like, oh, I must like this, I must comment on this, I must put a picture to compliment his status or whatever.
Oh, cute. Okay, cool.
Oh, and
That's the problem with me. I talk way too damn much. It's like people come up to me and say, "Oh, so you wrote this on Twitter. Like, what is your views on that?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, what did I say now?" Like, there's so many things that like people at work have come up to me and said, "Anthony, how could you say something like that?
Yes.
How could you like that's so." Like, and I'm like thinking, are you a prude or something? Because like you have to be able to be not always take yourself that seriously. And there's a lot of things that I say on Facebook and on Twitter, like which is just for fun and like what is it? Swiggity swingle, why am I single? And then some people start saying turning it into a sexual pun. And then someone else came up to me at work the next day and said, "Oh my God, I almost barfed because I read that." And I'm like, "About what?" And oh, because of this. Oh yeah, now I remember. What? And they like, "Oh my God, I have to unfriend you because it's so disgusting." It's like, okay, fine.
So let me jump in here.
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
how was the dick you had for dinner last night?
Scrumptious.
what?
Oh my God! Now people are going to probably think that God, and this gay Persian turned into gay Persian slut. Yes,
And
exactly.
now the
Especially
last
after what
28
Jean-Luc
minutes don't
told me
count.
to do to a very lucky guy during a dance at
I
Gamer
read
X
that. I read
party.
that.
Yes, there's pictures as well because someone, I'm not going to mention who, but someone took pictures and added them on Facebook as well. And I was like, oh, you added them on Facebook as well. Well, that's okay.
Oh wait, yeah. Well, that wasn't me.
I know, but we're just going to blame you as well.
Mm.
You should feel honored.
And now we cry.
I'm already out of tears. Give me a moment while I recharge.
Recharge the tears. That's a good word. Recharge. Yes. So, Emma, I was wondering about something. We're going to be flying you out to San Francisco next year. We're not going to be taking a no for an answer. So, what kind of things what ideas for cosplay do you have for next year? Because
I have too many.
okay, so which one is it that you're like thinking, this is the biggest thing that I'm like burning, just wanting to do? I have such big urges to do.
Wait, hold on 1 second, because Emma, actually, you have that album up on Facebook. Can you tell us a little bit about the pictures that you have?
I know well.
What was that?
That's his senpai stop it voice.
Oh, that sounded like yeah. Okay, whatever.
No, okay, and
It doesn't get better right now. You just keep on going with the word with the sound. It sounds like such a
it's
yaoi
that it.
film or something.
I know it's like I live in the Yahweh universe. Is
Love
that
it.
okay? John knows that in our previous conversation, that which also included video, that as soon as he mentions something that I like too much, I start fanning myself, and
Uh-huh.
I need to breathe.
Huh? What? You do what to yourself?
That as soon as John mentions something that I like have too much to talk about, I start fanning myself
Ah,
and
you're
like breathing heavily.
heavily.
Yes.
You could become a very good porn star. Sorry about it.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Zing.
Well, about the cosplays that I have in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. God damn it, get your shit together. Anyway, I uploaded an album, pictures of characters I would like to cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Among them are characters from Skies of Arcadia, Guilty Gear, Pretty Cure, Tales of Symphonia, Yu-Gi-Oh, Borderlands, Paper Mario, also DC Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love Borderlands. I was telling John that my favorite character is Tiny Tina in Borderlands 2. I adore that character too much. You don't know how many times a day I quote her either inside my mind or just randomly say something that she says while I'm doing something common. Jesus, it's totally abnormal out of me. I don't know how I can I live with myself, but
Join the
wow.
club, girl.
It's totally wow. Like for example, I went to the kitchen once to prepare something to eat. Then when I'm picking up one of the materials to cook, and I place it down on the kitchen table, and like first step of my training regimen is food. You got to get those carbs, son. And that's
Love it.
she
Oh
says
my
that.
god, I can't wait for next year. Oh my god, yes.
She said there's this mission in Borderlands 2, a DLC mission that's called Eat Cookies and Crap Thunder.
Oh, okay.
And it's Tiny Tina becomes like your training instructor for like a battle, no, like uh, a fight to the death tournament or something like that. And she has to train you, and her training is that she wants you to eat lots of chocolate chip cookies because it'll make you big and strong, according to her. Yes. And when I saw that, it's like, why do I love this character so much? I told John, at least I memorized completely all that she says in the main storyline, all of it. I remember that one time I was showering and I recited everything from beginning to end when you meet her.
Shower.
Yes, while I was showering.
Well, that's not bad.
I guess cool. Not.
That's like singing in the shower.
Sour?
The sour. It's my headphones. If I listen to myself, then I throw myself off.
It's just that Tiny Tina is just an effervescent character, and I just adore how explosive she is. And literally, she is explosive because she's supposed to be like a demolition expert at only being 13 years old. Her backstory is that her parents were killed, and per se, like her parting gift was a grenade. Her parents gave her to defend herself or to flee. So after that, she became crazy with with both losing her parents and the acceleration of using explosives.
Interesting.
Yes. Oh, and I love. She has two bunnies, like plush doll bunnies. That oh my god, I adored their names. One of the bunnies is called Mushy Snugglebites, and the other one is Felicia Sexopants.
Felicia
Sexopants.
Felicia Sexopants and Mushy Snugglebites.
Snugglebites.
Yes, Snugglebites.
Okay, work.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, I just love the character. I can't get enough of her, really.
I recently got Borderlands 1,
Mhm.
and of course, I always seem to pick the people that do some kind of an acrobatic karate move, and it usually ends up becoming a girl. I have no idea why I always choose girls, even from when I was
I started out with Lilith too. I mean, Lilith was my first character in Borderlands 1,
Mhm.
and
I
she's a
love her.
siren.
Oh,
And to me, that was like the closest thing to a magical girl in the game.
I just
Also,
wanted to pick.
that like Lilith's abilities are very close to what a mage is in an RPG because she can handle fire, corrosive, shock elements, slag. No, not
Mhm.
slag. Slag hasn't been invented yet in Borderlands 1. I think it's called Days, and oh yeah, explosive, neutral damage.
Mhm. So when you like add like you cosplay and you crossplay at the same as well.
Yes.
Is it like when you play video games, do you prefer being like playing video games with female characters? If you can choose characters that you want to be, do you usually go for which gender do you like playing best with?
Depends. If it's a fighting game, I
Yeah,
choose girls.
amen.
I remember that when I first started playing Soul Calibur, I would play a lot with Cassandra and Talon.
I was just gonna
Cassandra
say
was my
that.
favorite.
I was just going to say that I was at work last night and I saw that they had Soul Calibur 5, I think.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I think it was that, and of course there was like Cassandra and there was Nightmare, and I immediately wanted to just ask people online and just say, okay, does anyone have any good pictures of anyone cosplaying Nightmare? And of course, with the whole thing that he had on his torso,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, with that whole
Yeah.
mouth going a little Jinpachi-ish from Tekken, I was wondering if people had even done something very that elaborate and not just like drawn it on, but actually made it look 3D. And I haven't done it yet. But have you guys seen any good Soul Calibur cosplays?
I have
Mhm.
actually. Let me see if I can find a picture while we're still talking.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, in fighting games, I would always pick the girls, and I remember that my parents would complain that I would pick the girl characters
Why?
because they were like, why are you using the girl so much? Like you're a guy, use the guy characters."
Excuse me. Wait. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Mr. Gay USA is here, and he
Oh,
needs attention.
hey!
2012, not 2013.
2012, the crown was already taken away from him.
It was taken away from him.
Hello.
Mhm.
Hello. I found the picture of the Soul Calibur cosplayer.
So the last 10 minutes doesn't count.
Exactly. I have no idea what I've been saying for the past hour right now,
Well,
so
I was
whatever.
talking about the characters I choose.
Soul Calibur. I saw the
Okay.
pictures right now. It's actually very good.
Well, it's
I love.
amazing. I wouldn't be able to make that.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, it's really really good. That this is what I like when I look at people that do cosplay and like do this kind of cosplay. It just looks like art. It's like you
Well,
just want to like, can I just touch you and just take a picture with you?
well,
And I don't know, could you just photograph my boob or something like that? You know, it's just like there's like it's like when you look at pictures from Tokyo Game Show, even like people do so elaborate, difficult, and eccentric and detailed cosplay that just looks amazing when they like execute it. Even when they go with this kind of with this elaborate costume and they go into their characters' poses and even attitude is like, oh my god, it's come to life.
mhm.
It's very good.
Oh,
What does the picture look like?
You haven't seen it?
No.
Is she
I
posted
put a
it?
picture.
Okay, but what does the picture look like?
It's a nightmare a cosplayer
Yeah, I know,
A
but
very
like,
long
sword.
thing. Sword. Yes, we like that word. Sword. a claw and a helmet. Why are you guys laughing? I'm being serious right now.
I don't know because it seems like you got too much phallus on the mind.
Phallus? What's
Phallus.
Malice?
Phallus.
Oh, phallus. Uh, I don't know. I'm actually not
Anyway,
yeah.
what I
Yes.
was what I was talking about. Anyway, like in fighting games, I
Female
would choose girls.
characters. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
Have,
in Pokemon, I would choose the male characters because I wanted to feel like it was really myself in the game. Since
mhm.
I'm a very big fan of Pokemon.
Pokemon. How about Digimon?
Yes, I used to like Digimon a lot. but I only stayed with the first 3 seasons of
Mhm.
Digimon. But I've been like faithful to Pokemon.
I don't remember which season it was, but I remember the first season I watched because I was still a kid. I was like, it was during my childhood and my teenage years. I used to watch it. I think it was also the second and the third that I watched, or maybe just the second. Yeah, maybe the first and the second, I think, and some of the movies as well. It was a
Okay.
very I remember people told me there was this one episode which was very stressful because something had happened and it was showing it not in the sense of oh it's a cartoon adventure time, you know. It was actually really harsh things that have happened and someone just turned it off in front of me. It was like I don't want you to watch this. What is this? What are you watching? What are you watching? This is so bad for you or whatever. I'm like, really? It is?
Hmm.
I'll just turn it on again after when they left, so whatever.
So,
Yes. So when you played female characters, have you played Tekken?
Oh my God, yes. I have played
Oh, we have a
Tekken.
Tekken fan too. Oh,
No,
girl.
no, it's just okay. You were mentioning Tech. I was gonna mention something from Tekken, but I was like, nah, I shouldn't mention this. But then you
What?
mentioned Tekken, and I'm like, oh damn it, he mentioned
Just
Tekken
mention it. Go on, go on. What?
because I was playing Tekken once.
Tekken 1. Okay.
No, I played it. I played it a lot, and my favorite character was Christy Montero. But I was playing this one time with Anna,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if you remember Will Anna's character.
Of course I do.
Yes. And like I told Anthony, I have like bad habit of mimicking my characters.
uh-huh.
So the battle's starting and Anna's always very flirtatious with what she says before
Uh-huh.
battle.
Even after
And
battle too.
yes, everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, I have this thing to mimic unconsciously or consciously the characters I like. So
In the real world.
I'm playing Tekken all just tranquilly in my room. Then I
Uh-huh.
repeat what Anna says out loud. If I remember correctly, it was
I think I know what you mean.
I think it was that she says, "Oh, come over here. Let me talk to you real close."
Close. I know. I know.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So anyway, I said that out loud, and my father heard me, and
Oh.
and then he yelled at me from across the room and like, "Emmanuel, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm
Oh
playing."
wow. Seriously? God. Wow. Well, so that's
I don't know. He probably thought I was doing something weird by webcam or something like that.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Well,
going up.
let me ask you really quickly, Anthony. Do you have any like favorite girls in Tekken?
Oh. Oh wow. I grew up
Yes, I'm
with
actually going to be
my
asking
brother.
questions during this conversation.
Yes, exactly. No, that's cool. I remember my brother introducing me to Tekken 1,
hmm
and it just basically escalated from that. I just ended up getting hooked on Tekken 1, 2, 3, 4, like going on and on. Um, I remember in the first game, um, I would play just any character, I think.
hmm
The second, I remember being a very big fan of the girls, Michelle and June.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, June was so badass, even though her feet were too big, like they were like malproportioned towards her body.
Is that
But
like the one from PlayStation 1?
yeah, PlayStation,
Oh, I
yeah,
remember playing that one.
yeah. And the third one, I remember um, Eddie was fun, and Christie was so much fun because I would always get yelled at by people
Hmm.
because I would never let them stand up because I would keep on doing her capoeira
Oh
moves
yeah.
on them over and over and over again. So we just ended up getting like, oh, I don't want to play with you, Anthony. It's like, okay, fine. Why doesn't anyone want to play with me anymore? So the fourth, which wasn't Tekken 4, it was Tekken Tag, wasn't it? I think it was Tekken Tag, yeah, the first one.
Hmm.
That I don't remember who I played. The fifth, I remember playing when I was in Australia back in 2006 because we went into the store and we rented the game and we ended up playing the game all day long and night even. It was so much fun. Of course, I went for the girls because the graphics were so good and the girls were so flexible and they would always kick all of the guys' asses so good and so beautifully. It's like, oh, I didn't know that that could actually turn around 3 times. Oh, I didn't know that your neck, the human body, could actually turn around 5 times like that or even crack like that. So I would like instead of getting creeped out, I would just sit there and laugh and just like, oh, I would just want to be her. Can I? Can I just be her? And I do have Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Angel, I'm so happy that they brought her back. She's so beautiful. I want to see someone cosplaying her
Hmm.
perfectly, of course. Um, Also, June, I'm very happy that they brought June
Oh,
back
I would like to
because.
cosplay at some point Lily.
Oh, yes! I was just gonna say that Lily the Rochefort, isn't it? Rochefort or something?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, oh, she is phenomenal. Oh my God, there's some moves that I just found out about. It's just wow, it's just beautiful.
Hmm.
And of course, I go on Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and even on the after E3, people like we got the announcement that we could go and what was it? Get the Tekken Revolution for free on the PS Store, and of course I downloaded that.
Hmm.
So much fun. I of course go online and play with other people. I think it was the first one of the first sessions that I was playing, and I just said, yeah, sure, like their microphone can be on, whatever. I don't care about that. It's fine. I don't have a microphone or even a keyboard, so you can just do whatever you want to do. And I just heard suddenly, like playing with someone around the world, there was someone moaning so loudly, and I was like thinking, what is this sound? I was like, oh, it's from my
What?
TV. Yeah, and I was turning up the volume. I was like, why is this guy moaning? And I found out later that that person that I was playing with was from Japan. And while I was murdering his ass to the
Uh-huh.
ground, he was like constant, instead of saying, oh, oh, like that, he was like, oh, oh, like that. I was like,
And
okay,
so
is this
let's
like
let's let's just repeat that and very, very slowly. When you were murdering his ass to
with
the
the
ground,
ground? Of
this
course.
Japanese boy was moaning.
But it's the truth. Like there's some people. What is up with my English? There's some people that think it's so funny and so hilarious to go and do the same attack with you repeatedly. It's like the
Mm.
same, like triangle, 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 like constantly doing that, and I can't even get in one attack. So when I get through the attack and start murdering their asses to the ground, I just do that. And I remember someone getting very close to not to winning the third match, and I, of course, murdered their ass to the ground, to the
Mm.
sand actually. And I got really upset because they just turned off their game really, really fast. I'm like, don't do this. I'm a professional. I know what I'm supposed to do. And of course, I always when I'm playing with my friends, I always play Lily or Alyssa, and
Mm.
I do all of their acrobatic stunts and their like jumping jacks and like all those kinds of things. It annoys my friends to death, but it's like, well, if you're in it, I'm in it to win, Edgar.
Mhm.
Whatever. Yeah, but I don't know why I tend to play female characters. I do like some of the male characters as well, like Eddie and Jinpachi, Heihachi, Yoshimitsu. I love him to death because he is the. It seems like he is the only one that gets a full revamp of his upgrade, like his added costumes and like his character and his appearance in every single game. In the first game, he looked like a clown. Like really, his face looked really weird. It looked like a cross thing between a clown and a samurai and a ninja or whatever. In the second, he looked a little different, and the third, he looked evil, and it ended up like looking more and more elaborate with his costumes. I think it was in Soul Calibur, the one that all of the games on, like the one that I don't remember which one was that. There was one Soul Calibur that came out that every platform had one character that the
Soul
other
Calibur 2.
had. It was that, right? Where
Yes,
Link
Soul
was.
Calibur for GameCube had Link.
Yeah.
Xbox had
Yeah.
Spawn.
Yeah,
And PlayStation 2 had Heihachi.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that. So I'm not really sure why I always play the female characters. Probably because it's a flexible, and they're always very good at executing their moves. It looked like when Lily executes her attacks, it just looks to like she's like dancing and running around and doing all of these kind of fun loops.
Yes, it's just I just love her.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
beautiful. It's
No,
like,
that's
oh,
what that's what exactly what she says in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Karei ni ikimashou, which means let's get beautiful.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to use that word from now on. Let's get beautiful. I just saw regarding that, I saw a Tumblr GIF about when you know the one that when she's in Tekken 6, she's rolling down her window in her cutscene, her ending, and she just takes out her megaphone and just says something towards Xiaoyu, Ling Xiaoyu, and on the Tumblr it says instead of saying what she says, she just rolls down her window and just says, "Listen up, motherfuckers." I love her. I really love her. And of course, people hate for some reason Ling Xiaoyu. I like her. She's the one with the panda. I mean, who doesn't like a panda?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like her hair and her? She's the one that I remember playing in Tekken 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a lot of fun.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen some parts of the first one. The other one, the new one, I don't even know if it's called Tekken 2 or whatever. I haven't seen that one. I've seen the first one a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a live action one, and then there was one that was computer generated, right?
Yeah, I think the first one was animated.
Okay.
It wasn't it? I don't remember actually. It was like, it was when I was younger, wasn't it? I don't remember. Emma, help me.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted thinking of Lily. Tell me.
Oh, Lily. I think you would have the face to do Lily very good.
I would like that in the future.
I think you would do a very beautiful Lily. Would you do an Alyssa? Alyssa Paskanovich? You should do Zafina.
Okay.
Oh, crickets. Jiminy Crickets.
Jiminy Crickets.
Oh, okay. Jiminy Crickets.
This is the problem. I get so many ideas that I just get stuck thinking, which
yeah, I mean, we haven't even touched on like all the ones that you really want to do, like that list.
I know, and
I think you would do Zafina very good. Oh, every time I play Zafina, I just want to be her. I just want to be her. She is the definition of murdering your ass to the ground. I'm just saying. Oh God, the girl just does some stuff. It's just like, wow, I didn't know that the human body could bend like that. I didn't even know that you could crawl like that.
That'll be like a kind of a problem because I like to learn what a character does to its full proximity.
Yeah, you go into character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think I'll be able to stretch and contort that much.
She does a little. She does some like her poses are a little like. She stands a little crooked, but it's very like beautiful at the same time. So you could probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be.
I guess.
You actually have the face for her, though. Actually, like looking at your profile picture, your face fits her face, so you would actually look like her. People will probably like, "Oh my God, it's the same person."
Well,
She
I don't.
came out of the
I
street.
also well, the times that I have crossplayed, I don't exactly have always the face of the girls I cosplay, but I still end up fooling people.
Exactly, like with your Phoenix.
Yes, with Phoenix and mostly with Poison. Well, I did fool a lot of people with Phoenix too, but I got more. How do I say this? Daring men approach me with Poison.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I was like,
Cosplay porn.
No, not like that. I meant like, I should not tell them that I am a guy to not ruin their fantasy at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
take a picture with me and leave.
It's just like a little like Tatiana from Drag Race. It's like, oh, hey, back up, I'm a dude. Back
No,
up.
at first I would tell them that I was a guy, but to like get that that hilarity effect for me. But then I thought it was more funny to stay quiet and not say a word.
Yeah. I think
There were a couple of guys that with my Poison cosplay that would, like, for example, put their hands around my waist. Not even giving them permission to do so. They just like, oh, can I take a picture with you? And like they would like hold me close to their body and put their hands around my waist, or I don't know, stuff like that.
Did anybody try to like grab your boob or something?
Actually, I was the one telling people grab my boob.
Oh.
Yeah, there's something about having breasts that just makes me want to share them with the world.
It's just like the same. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna even get into that.
Oh no! Let's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you remember like from probably Emma saw this as well. Pandora Box came and had a show at GameX, right? I still have a few videos that I need to upload from her beautiful, divine show that she had on the stage.
Exactly.
And I came up to her and I said, "Oh, can I take a picture with you?" And she was like, "Oh, sure, of course." And I took the picture. And for some odd reason, I placed my hand around on her stomach, and she just—I don't know if it was me or if it was her. I don't know who did what, but I think it was probably me. Sorry about it. I asked her that, can I just like, can I touch the boob? And it's like, oh, of course, sure, you can touch of course you can touch my boob. It's bigger than the one that I usually have, or something like that. I was like, oh, okay. And I look at the picture, I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, instead of like doing a little like kinky kind of like silly kind of picture, it looks like I'm trying to steal her bra or something. Like the view, like the the way that I'm looking at Jean-Luc when he's taking the picture, and the way that my hand is like firmly placed on her breast, and with the angle of my elbow, it looks like I'm like gonna be raping her or like something. It's like, oh God, why was this picture taken like this?
And why do you have to throw the stare to me in that story?
Well,
what?
Yes.
You're like, oh, the way that I was looking at Jean-Luc when he was taking the picture, and
well, you were holding the camera up against your face when you're taking the picture. So I was like looking at you. I wasn't looking into the air. Like, oh, there's Jean-Luc, but I'm gonna look the other way. Oh, Jean-Luc. Tisk, tisk, tisk. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. And again, Emma, you should have been there.
I know.
Just saying. And this year, well, next year, you're coming. No pun intended.
Anyway.
Like I was saying, with my Poison cosplay,
yeah.
I remember there was also, it's just the character also, like, how do I explain this? There was a guy that actually wanted me to whip him various times.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. It's just like, wow. Cosplay conventions really release people's inhibitions sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like have you seen when Kelly Osbourne turned Japanese, the show?
No, I don't.
You guys haven't seen it?
No.
You haven't? Okay. I think it was back in 2007 or 8 or something. It was when I saw it, at least. I still have it. It was Kelly Osbourne went to Japan for a period to do stuff to like basically blend into the Japanese culture. And she
Mm-hmm.
would take up different kinds of jobs. She would like work as a maid at the maid cafe. She would,
Oh,
yeah,
I want
yeah.
to be a maid at a maid cafe.
Oh.
And she went and worked at a love hotel, which was just hilarious because of the stuff that she had to do and the stuff that she had to see. And like there was this, she had to go up. She was like sitting in the reception, and
Uh-huh.
people call room service and say, "Hey, I want a cup of noodles and a beer and a Coke." Okay, I'm coming up now. And she's like saying to the camera, "I'm gonna fucking die if they are gonna be sitting there naked while I'm coming into the room, giving them a pot of noodles."
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like, ooh, noodles before fucking, you know, and
Or after.
oh, whatever floats their boat. And she, the woman that she was with, she was like her helper or like her translator. She was like her guide or her assistant. And she takes up the phone and says, "Oh, okay, you need to go up. They want you to take a picture of them." And she said, "Okay." And she says to the camera while she's going into the elevator that I'm gonna fucking die if they're gonna be sitting there naked while I'm gonna be taking a picture. She was like, "Oh, I don't want to take a picture of them. Please do not do anything weird while I'm taking a picture of you." So she goes into the room, and of course the camera doesn't go inside, but you can hear her laughing and like uncontrollably, and you hear the couple saying, "Hey, why are you laughing? We serious." And she comes out and she starts laughing like she can't stop herself. So she goes down and says, "Okay, I'm gonna give you," and tells her assistant that I'm giving them their cup of noodles and I'm giving them what they want, and they wanted me to take a picture of them. Okay, sure. And then she said the girl sat on top of the guy, blindfolded and with the bondage kit around his hands and feet, and she was sitting above him while giving the peace sign and wanted to take a picture while they were in that position. So it was like, okay, she had to do a lot of different, like, crazy jobs. She had to, like, turn into a samurai. She had to turn into a geisha. She even went to a cosplay convention. She cosplayed as Lakis Klein. There was a professional cosplayer that went out with her to the comic store to buy a doll so they would know exactly what kind of shade of material and all that kind of stuff to make her look good. And she stood there and she was going to be taking a picture, and she was so amazed and like confused that they were like, everyone is like posing not normally. They're like posing with their legs spread and their arched back, like their backs arched and everything, and showing their boobs and everything. And the cosplayer said, "Oh, we're just being in character." It's like okay, no, I'm not gonna be taking a picture like this at all. So someone comes up to her and says, "Oh, I want to take a picture of you." I say, "Okay, sure." So she does the peace sign with a smiling, and then the guy says, "Okay, can you lie down and like pose in a very sexy way and just spread your legs, arch your back, and show me your like go down so I can see your cleavage?" So I think she ended up like bursting into tears. She was like, "I don't want to do this. I don't, why are people doing this?" And it seems like cosplay in this country seems to be, yeah, like sex and cosplay and all that seems to go hand in hand. It's very sexual. It's like it's not a picture, and cosplaying is a good thing to express yourself, self-expression. But get rid of the photographers because it's just so pervy. Just be there and ask them to, "Oh, take a picture of me like this with me," or something like that.
We'll be back with more from Anthony and Emma in just a minute, but first, as always, we want to give the following shoutouts to our podcasting friends, including GameBuoy.org, Game Bar with a capital Gay, Kuba Club, Kuba with a Q, Club with a K, Orange Lounge Radio, Horde House, and VG Realness. As well as we want to welcome our expanded family of gay gaming podcasters, including Gaming Podcasts, Game Pro, Let's Wow Podcast, and Silly Franks. Now, let's get back with more from Anthony and Emma.
Okay.
Mm,
What about?
I have to look for
Uh,
the list. I saw the list a long time ago. For example, girls that were protagonists in their own games and games at that time, but I kind of lost it.
what about, let's say, Prince of Persia, the 2008 one, where you have Alika being an ally, and they like jokingly made. I don't know if it was actually intended or if it was like jokingly added that you had like. Did you play Sands of Time?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Have you played any of the Prince of Persia games?
No, I'm more like an RPG player.
Okay. Well, in the first, like in the Sands of Time, you have this princess, Princess Farah, and she's like coming with you to help you during the game. And she sometimes she has her bow and arrow, and she sometimes mistakenly starts shooting you instead. That the arrows hit you, and it's like, oh my god, you're hitting me! Stop doing that, you know. But in the third game, in the True Thrones, she got way more like beautiful and her armor was amazing and everything, you know, and she was like powerful ally. And they did the same thing also in Sands of Time in the 2008 edition, where they made her Elika the compass. She had this whole compass thing in her that she could like, by the help of the gods, she knows she can help you find out which direction you're supposed to go in right now, you know. And she, I don't know if you could say. I mean, Jean-Luc, probably you played the game, right?
Yeah.
You played the 2008.
Yeah, 2008 one.
Yeah. Do you think her outfit with that see-through kind of halfway down, almost seeing her boob,
Yeah.
blouse and her khaki pants running around, do you think she was like sexualized? Or do you think she was a little more in power? Because she was very smart and they actually marketed it as you have a very powerful, deadly ally now that with her powers and everything.
Yeah, I mean that there's like there's the two sides to it. I mean, she is very powerful. How that character is dressed up, maybe to have like a certain aesthetic or whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
know, is she like somebody like say Princess Jasmine from Aladdin or something like that? I I wouldn't say, but
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Disney princess is Mulan.
Oh
you like Mulan?
yes.
But yeah, I think that in a way, like I don't know, maybe there's sort of like the two sides to it. Like there's sort of like the cover of the book and then the inside of the book. And for gamers, when we're in when we're in the world, when we're like trying to like make our way through, like I don't know whether like we're actually paying attention to sort of like the abilities of the character more than how the character actually appears, and maybe like the way that the character appears is something that kind of just like draws us, like is eye catching and draws us in. But when we're actually in the game, maybe our focus is more on like, okay, I have a task, I need to get this done. You know, I I don't know. Like I think there's probably like two different ways of looking at it. Whether like the princess in 2000, the Prince of Persia 2008, like whether she was like represented in a disrespectful way or something like
Mm.
that. Uh, that there's probably like two separate angles to it.
Well, interesting enough, I was invited to do it during a chat back when they were giving out the True Thrones game,
Hmm.
and everyone was talking about Kylina's humongous breasts. That was very eye-poking and very like in your face during the entire game of
Hmm.
what was the game? A Warrior Within. And I noticed it during the trailer that of the third game, True Thrones, that it was like completely, it was almost flat. So I
Hmm.
during the chat with Ben Mattis, um, the guy that I think he was the director or something like that of the game. I during the chat, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And we're talking with him. It was like a lot of fun, and we were asking him questions. You know, we were asking the person that was the mod of the chat the different kinds of questions. And my question was like, one of my questions was that why is it that you guys suddenly changed the size of Kalina's breasts from the second game to the third game? Because sort of, because you see, because the time frame doesn't really change that much, you know, so there's no logical explanation why suddenly she changed, you know, from for the if you because in the second game there's two different endings, you know, and the ending that you're supposed to go after is the one that follows through to the third game when you enter the city of Babylon, you know.
Mm.
And you can, and when you save Kylina instead of killing her. Spoiler, you know. But um, I asked them that, okay, so what is the reason why you guys are like doing this? And I think I asked in a very silly way, or in a like gamer like geeky kind of way. It wasn't exactly a political, trying to be very political and very activist kind of attitude, but I just was asking him, and he said, "I just we didn't really think too much about it, or that we weren't very we weren't trying to focus on her breast that much during this game."
Mm.
You know, so it was like it was strange that why did you guys even in the first place make her breast so big? You know, even with Shadi, you know, her outfit was very sexual, especially during the first period of the first segment of the game. You know, especially when you see her walking up the stairs and she has this metallic suit on, which isn't really a suit, but it's just metallic and has a few wires going around. And she comes up walking the stairs with a metal bondage-ish kind of outfit with a metal thong, you know, and they're zooming up on her butt so you can actually focus on it. So it's like, okay, so you're trying to really go for the sex. So why did you suddenly change it in the third game? You know?
Well, there's a couple of things that get brought up, like when you kind of like talk about those topics. Like for me, I mean, I don't know. Like it's a really, like, I really try to juggle my own personal feelings on, like, well, actually, truthfully, honestly, I don't care about breast size. Like, they could be watermelons, they could be whatever, you know, they could be flat, you know. As an RPG gamer, there's one on PS3 called Cross Edge, where they take all sorts of characters from all sorts of games, and they all get together. There's Morrigan from Darkstalkers, and there's Etna from Disgaea, and they both have like vampire features. They're both like, I don't think Etna's really a succubus, but they both kind of have like very vampiric sort of features, but in two different styles. And the big difference between Morrigan and Etna is that Morrigan has the big breasts, and then Etna is flat-chested. And they actually have a scene in the game where the two of them kind of go back and forth. And then I think some characters, like from the Atelier series, they're kind of like chatting back and forth. They're like, what the hell is going on with these two? And one person says, oh, I guess because Etna has like a small breast problem or a complex or something like that. And you know, that kind of was like, you know, it added humor to the situation. It was fine. It was over. I mean, I don't think that females, you know, we don't always have like the watermelon, you know, oh my God, how can she run because, you know, she's going to break her back like that. You know, we do have female characters that are flat chested, and we have a big spectrum. And to me, like when people get the hang up of like breast size, I kind of like, well, when I was growing up, I had somebody like Dolly Parton who was around that has like a table on her chest. And it's like, okay, you know, for me, like, okay, she has big breasts. What's the problem? You know? Now, what the gamer actually puts into the game, how the gamer actually like contributes to that sort of like collaborative art of what a video game is, that's where maybe like the personal experience of it, maybe you do kind of like bring your own interpretation into that. Maybe you do objectify the character based upon how you interact with the game. But that could happen in any sort of way. Because there was which Prince of Persia is it where you start off? Is it the Two Thrones where you start off in a ship and it's raining?
That's and you start having the sword fight with the Shadi.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
if
that's the
it's like a
second game.
really really stormy night and you're like on the ship and you have to fight the crew and then like
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the second game. That's Warrior Within.
Yeah, Warrior Within. Okay, so I think that was like the first 3D Prince of Persia that I actually started to play, and so I brought it over to Malcolm's house, and I put it into the PS2 and I
We love
started up,
Malcolm.
and I go like through the ship. And then I see like a big post that's like in the center of a room. And so I stop like fighting everybody and I start making the prince like do a pole dance. So I'm like swinging the sword around and all this stuff and I'm dancing all over the place and making him like do flips and slide down the pole real slow. And and then I guess Malcolm, because he's straight, he's like, "Oh God, stop doing that with the prince." But I was like, what? He's just doing a little sexy dance right now.
Well,
But
that's actually a
it's
move.
not because, huh?
That's actually a move that you can do during the game.
Yeah. But it's not that the prince like they went into it like, oh, we're gonna make the prince like, well, no, the prince is sexy, but
hmm
you know when a character becomes an object, is that more like the developer side? Is that more of like what the player actually puts into it? It could go either way for me. But I don't really get hang up on character design.
Yeah. No, it's interesting to see how they interpret, like as we say, they interpret the whole sexual dilemma and how is it because of the power? Is it because of what's the reason? Because
Hmm.
did you play the what was the name? Forgotten Sands, the latest one that came out of Prince of Persia?
That's the movie one.
No, not the movie. It came around the time of the movie. I think a year before the game. I think it came out. The Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands, with
Uh-huh.
Ratash and the Ifrit and the Jinns and everything.
Uh-huh.
You haven't played that game?
No.
Okay. No, for instance, in that game you have like now I'm going to be spoiling it, but you have like they have this. I think it's 7 years. This 7 year gap between Prince of Persia: Sands of Time and Prince of Persia: Warrior Within. I think it's 10. I don't remember how many years it was. Let's say 7. Okay,
Hmm.
7 years. There's a gap, and they're trying to fill it in with the Forgotten Sands. And one of the things that I noticed during the game was that this is the first game that I genuinely like the dubbing, because usually the dubbing is really bad.
Hmm.
They hire people that do awful accents in Persian. It's like, oh my God, no, just don't talk, please. Because they have it with Elika in the Prince of Persia 2008. So I
Hmm.
was like, I was playing it on the PC at the time, and I remember having to push the button E, the letter E, to get her compass working during when she finally has that when not Ormazd, Aruman escapes the Tree of Life, right? And I'm hitting it, and then like after maybe 10 times of hitting the button, I'm understanding. I realize that she's speaking Persian. So I'm like constantly hitting it and trying to I was writing down every single sentence that she was saying in Persian to just see, okay, so what kind of words is she saying? And there's a few words that is completely off. There's a few words that she's like, okay, that's acceptable. And there's a few words that we talked with Spencer during the breakfast at Gamer X that they're like there's this word that you're not there's specific words and sentences that you're not supposed to say in that manner when you're talking about a god or a deity. It's like when you say when you get one of those power plates working where you're starting to fly through the air, on the back of Elika, she says, what was it? Be'osme Ormazd. And that translates to in the name of Ormazd. But you're not supposed to say Be'esme, which is the same thing as the other one, which is Bename Ormazd, but it's the difference between formal and not formal way of saying it. And when you're speaking it about a higher power or a higher deity, especially in Persian mythology, it's a little important to use proper linguistics.
Yeah.
So that's a little off-putting at some points, but it could be that they didn't want it to be completely politically correct because it will lose its charm or even lose its meaning of games. I mean, it's supposed to be a game, not being completely correct. But one of the things that I noticed during the Prince of Persia Sands of Time was that there seems to be a lot of people that have told me, we didn't know that during the game you have these Persian calligraphies on the walls throughout the game with a button or a ledge or like this. There's something there that is right next to the text, and people think, it's just for decoration. It makes it look so exotic and Persian and old Persia. And I'm like, no, if you actually know your Persian, you can actually read it and you understand that they're giving you clues on what is going to happen if you push that button or open that door, what's behind that door. It says one of them was that jump on this ledge or jump on this button and something's going to happen. It says this in Persian. And people think, it's just decoration. And lo and behold, when you do that, something happens,
Yeah.
So it was fun to see that they were trying to not make it just seem exotic and very perfect, but actually using it to the advantage of, if you know the language, it will actually give you meaning as well. So, but the Forgotten Sands, it was very good. I was impressed by how even the dialect and even the accent was down. And there was, of course, some words, again, that was a little off-putting, but again, it's probably not supposed to be so PC, so, yeah.
Excuse me. How important is it to play a person of color in a video game? You definitely, bring up a lot of examples when you talk about Prince of Persia. And there's other examples as well within the games that have come out. For Emma's experience, I can't really think of somebody that would be Puerto Rican. Maybe there's somebody that's Hispanic or Latino, something like that. For each of you, do you want to see the industry kind of diversify in that aspect?
No.
No?
Yes. Because I play games to escape reality. I don't want to be reminded of how people are in Puerto Rico here in a game.
Do you think that somebody can gain something though from learning, a little bit more about your world though?
Well, yeah, they could. They could. I mean, there's lots of material here to do so. But we're talking about like in the character aspect, and at least I'm partial to the idea that, for example, characters belong in a fictional world. So I would like to see fictional countries. Maybe make countries that are similar or based on something. It gives them like, for example, um, the new Pokemon game is based on France, but they're not actually remaking the France city in the game. So something like that. Because, like, for example, at least with reality games, I don't tend to play them because, you get much of that every day. So if I were to play a sports game, I'd rather play the sport instead of playing the video game of it. Unless it's like some kind of extreme sport, like Mario
and
sports.
I think Anthony, you definitely like when we brought up the idea of like reality is boring. You definitely like jumped in and you agreed with that. Do you kind of can you kind of like agree with that perspective? Like maybe we should have like a little bit more fantastical take, or do you think that having better representation leads to better awareness, leads to whatever?
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine.
And what I wanted to say was, for example, like in Street Fighter, they're supposed to represent fighters from different kinds of parts of the world, but how realistic are they trying to make their representations? Like, it's fine that they can shoot fireballs and everything, but what Brazilian is really gonna identify with Blanca?
Sorry. Yeah.
Or, for example, what I know there's supposed to be like a character in Street Fighter 4 that's like a representation of a Native American, but it just ends up looking ridiculous instead of like a good representation.
Mm-hmm.
Then you
So
could you could probably then ask in that context that what is Bison supposed to be, or Vega, depending on where you are in the world right now. Because in Japan they use him. I think it's Japan that they use Vega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, of course. And in US they call him Bison.
No, but Vega and Bison are two different characters. Vega is the one that has like the claws, and
Yeah,
Bison
exactly.
is
But
in
the guy Bison has another name in Japan that they identify him with.
This is how it broke down, because originally M. Bison is the name for the boxer Balrog, because M. Bison is supposed to be a play on Mike Tyson. That's why he's a boxer. That's why he's in Vegas and all this stuff.
Yes.
But they couldn't use that name for him, bringing him over to America. So they changed the name from him being M. Bison to the leader of Shadow Law being M. Bison. And the leader of Shadow Law used to be called Vega, but then they took that name and placed it on the Matador from Spain. And actually the one that was named Balrog originally in Japan was the Matador from Spain. So it got all mixed up.
I feel that in a way.
I'm sorry. I really didn't know that. Right now, I'm looking at the Street Fighter wikis and like, wow, wait, Vega is Balrog in Japan, and Bison is Vega in Japan, and like, whoa, what's this mess of names?
Yeah,
exactly. I think it's important to show diversity no matter what gender, color, whatever you are in a game. But then again, I think if people are going to be saying, but well, didn't you just say right now that you don't want to live in reality? So we're just going to have Blanca be Brazilian but look like that, or have Native Americans look completely different. You can then say, is Michelle Chang really a Native American in Tekken? Just because she runs around with a vest and a feather in her hair or in her on her head, does that make her a fully pledged Native American? You know, all that kind of stuff. And the later in the later of the editions of the game, you see her changing her costumes, you know? So it's the whole thing about then people can just basically tell us right now, the three of us, that, okay, but, well, didn't you just, like 30 minutes ago, didn't you just 30 minutes ago say that you didn't want to live in reality? So here you are. This is not reality. This is unreality.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So then you have to, like, say, I think it's okay to have different kinds of people in the games. I don't think everyone needs to be white or everyone needs to be male or female or whatever, you know? But I think it's a step to try and take to not offend people, at least not offend people, and try to depict them at least a little bit more like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could probably say that I don't know, what was his name, Blanca. You could probably say that Blanca is from planet Neptune or something else, or he's just a monster. You know, why do you have to base him to a nationality, you know? But then, but that's the thing. We don't want reality. We don't feel comfortable in reality. So here we are, getting not wanting reality, you know. But this game is now showing us not reality, but now we suddenly want reality, you know. So we're never going to be winning this, sadly.
Yeah, I know, and I know that it seems that I'm contradicting myself, but what I really wanted to come across was, like, if their original purpose was trying to base themselves as much as possible on a representation of every fighter from around the world, then Blanca is, like, very far-fetched from what I would expect something from Brazil would be. But then again, yeah, like you said, it's like they're going to experimenting to, like, hey, maybe this was a monster we found in the Brazilian Amazons or something like that. So
yeah, that could actually work, you know. So
yeah, it's just like I said in a couple of I don't know. We've been talking for 4 hours. Like I said, 2 hours ago.
At least we got relevant game talk that I can use within this.
Could I just
last
butt in
4
and
hours.
say the thing that was all we have talked about for the past 3 hours? Can we just delete it?
No,
I'm joking.
What I wanted to say was that at least sometimes the characters give like, for example, Blanca, with what I said right now, that they do leave the part open to speculation and to imagine where could this character come from, even though there's already a story for the character.
Exactly. You know, it could probably be, I don't know, could it be something political? Could it be something religious? Because let's say Zafina, you know, they just say she's from a faraway mystical land, but she dresses very, like, there's a lot of skin and there's a lot of focus on different parts of her body, you know. Maybe there's, if they would say, oh, she's from Saudi Arabia or whatever, or she's from Syria or whatever, they're probably going to say, oh, but she's now she's being represented as one of us, and she can be, but then she has to cover her entire body, you know, running around with a hijab or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It could be a conscious effort that you're trying to make right now to just say some of these characters are not going to be labeled as different countries. But then again, then you just have to ask, okay, so if that's if it is this if this is the case, then how is Blanca representing people from Brazil? Are everyone looking like Blanca with that hair color and those teeth and those skin color? I mean, and that skin color, you know?
Well, we have somebody from Brazil in the gamers page. We could ask him what he thinks about Blanca.
Yeah.
No.
You know, that could be interesting to see that. Okay, so if they're trying to not make some people like Zafina not labeled as a specific country, and some people, some characters are labeled as coming from specific countries, why is the reason? What is the reason? Why are some people labeled and some are not? And if it is because they want to not have that much political like misunderstandings or problems or and dilemmas because people come from different cultures with different, I don't know, dress codes and whatever, if it is because of that, then how is Blanca or even some of the other characters in Street Fighter or even Tekken depicted that way? Are everyone depicted as some of the females in Tekken?
Mm-hmm. See, I think that and I don't know whether it's because we kind of like our own sort of like common thread coming into this discussion is that we're gay gamers. That
Amen.
that the issues of like gender and sexuality are sort of like front of mind, and then maybe it's also because of the fact that there is that sort of like fantastical angle. Like when you get into games that you do kind of like accept something that's made up, but then when it's a little bit more grounded in the real world, and then you start talking about maybe sort of like representing or misrepresenting people's cultures, people's languages, some of those more abstract
heritage
concepts. Yeah, heritage as well. That. It's very like
it's just like when Hot Topic. Remember that picture that you showed of Hot Topic having that symbol of like Native Americans,
Yeah.
With that sense, with that context, with that color and that evil, It's a whole like, okay, why are we depicted in this way,
Yeah. Well, even even in a fantastical setting, like a lot of the cultural assumptions are brought in. Let's say a game like Final Fantasy VII, where you have somebody that's obviously black. You have the creature, the Red 13. He's he's like a tiger creature, but he has a feather in his mane. And then his theme song is very like, it's the drum beats. It's distinctly like, okay, this is something that you're basing off of Native American culture. Maybe you're not representing a specific, I'm not going to say like you have to be exact, but I am kind of like decoding this as like, this is what your basis is. So, for me, like maybe representation from that sort of like race and nationality. I don't know whether it's because, like I said, because our commonality is being gay gamers, whether gender and sexuality are a little bit more front of the mind versus like dealing with the circumstances of like. Once we get off, we have like multiple identities that we have, like in multiple communities that we're a part of. So
the thing that people don't realize, or maybe because they don't know it, is that like people come up to me and say, "Oh, Anthony always seems so happy and so giddy and so joking around," and you. Like there's even people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, you don't know anything about how difficult life is or what hardships in life is. You just put your head on your pillow during the night and whisk off into La La Land, and you know nothing about what I have gone through." So it's like, okay, just because I don't always talk about it or always flash it out and always, "Oh, I've been this or I've been that," like it's happened, of course. I just don't use that card every single time when I'm around people because I don't feel that it's appropriate, or even for me it's not appropriate. For other people it could be something else. People can do whatever they want to do, but I feel myself that I don't want to always be known for, "Oh, you were bullied or you were this or that," there's a lot of stuff that has happened to me that a kid should never ever have to see, hear, or even experience. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up making It Gets Better video and even posted out my biography online, both the me side and also the gay side of me, the gay story about me. And there's people that have read it and said like, wow, I read it and I just immediately broke down and started crying. And I couldn't even control myself because I really don't understand how you can still be alive because people like you should not be still living. They should have just committed suicide and be done with it. So it's amazing to see how you're still sitting here. You know, I was bullied for 19 years. Like my childhood was a mess. I didn't have any friends. Nobody wanted to be around me. I eventually had some people coming up to me, but I later on knew that they were just trying to get out of me like answers for a test or trying to help them with their homework because they knew that, oh, you're just this class smartass, you know everything. You're the one that always does the studying, so we can just get free help from you. You know, it just is a mark on your forehead that says, oh, free help for homework or whatever, just come to me. There's even people that used to come home to me, ring on my doorbell and tell me, oh, we're having a spelling test tomorrow in English. Can you please tell me all of the words that we need to memorize for the test tomorrow? So I was like, seriously? Is that why you're like coming up to me? And this wasn't just one time. This was several times that would happen. I would be like all through preschool, elementary school, junior high school, even university. I would have people being homophobic, people that wouldn't really understand my mentality, people that didn't understand the way that I walk, talk, act, whatever, where I come from, what my name is, like everything. I would just basically hide myself during high school. I remember high school and even junior high school. I used to hide myself in the bathroom stalls and sit there and eat my lunch because I didn't want people to be around me. I
Oh wow.
really didn't want anyone being around me. I would find this room in high school. I remember there was this hidden computer room with a few computers stacked up, and I would sit in there because no one was using it. So I would just essentially use my lunch break, sitting in there, eating my food and surfing the internet, reading, studying, doing all of the stuff that I wanted to do. Like I remember how everyone was like stressing the fuck out because of his test, and they were like, "Oh my god, I'm going to fail this test. Oh my god, I haven't studied. I don't know anything. I'm going mental." I'm just like sitting there thinking, "I'm ready. Bring it on," because I'm dedicated to this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And because of you being a smartass, as they would say, I would be a weirdo. And when I'm not studying, I would also be a weirdo. So I would always be the wrong person, you know. And you eventually going to Australia back in 2006. I went first a week, I think it was 2 weeks or something, to Israel, and then I went to Australia for 3 weeks during summer. And I remember coming back from both of those trips, everything changed. Like people would say to me, "You're different. Like what happened to you?" My entire views on everything in this world, even studying everything, would be different. There were like teachers screaming, like there was like students yelling and saying, "Oh, I hate my teacher. She gave me an F or gave me a D. I hate her. Like I did my best and everything like that." I was like, "Oh my God, you have no idea. Your life is going down because you hate your teacher because you did a shit job. It's not her fault. It's your own fault. Like there's so many other things going on in the world right now that you have no idea and you're not even paying attention to." And everything changed. Essentially, everything changed. Like literally everything changed. It's not just something that I say and that I'm saying. Everything changed, and people noticed this. And going against the grain times 100 made people even more push me out of the group and circles and everything. So I made a conscious decision of having to weed out all of the poisonous people in your life. You know, all the people that are not going to be sitting there rooting for you or even wanting to be with you or supporting you. And I would be left with practically no one. And it was difficult, of course. It was mad difficult, but I survived it because I was so dedicated to my work, my studies, everything. Because I was like, no, I'm not gonna let this define me. I'm not gonna let this push me down. I'm going to work for this. I'm going to get better and going to get successful. I'm going to be better and better. So when people tell me that, oh, you know nothing about difficulties, I tell them this and they're like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. So it's like, yeah, just because my face doesn't show that, oh, I'm so sad and I'm so gloomy and so gray. No, I'm still the type of person that goes out. I just know exactly who I need to be with and who I'm not supposed to be with, because I learned at a very young age how to be a little more independent, not always having to rely on people like, oh my God, I need friends, because if people are going to look at me as a not having any friends, I'm going to be labeled as an antisocial person, so I'm going to be the weirdo. I'm going to be like, I don't care. Of course, I have friends now. I have a lot of friends, but I'm still not going to rely on specific people to say, because of having people around me, I'm going to get to a better level in my life. You know, everything starts with yourself. I see when this can, of course, be misunderstood right now. I'm saying this in contrast of certain people that I used to grow up with, and I literally could look at them, and they would not go out of the house to go to a movie and go to the movies and see a film because their friends wouldn't come with them that day. So they would actually not go to that event because they didn't want to go alone. I'm like, fuck that, I'll go alone. I'll go to a convention by myself because I'm going to be enjoying myself. You know, it's of course it's difficult. People are going to be looking at you like, why are you alone? But I'm going to be like, whatever. I'm not here to impress the people. I'm here to have fun, meet up with people, take pictures. You know, it's not that it is difficult, but after a while, you adapt to the feeling that, you know what, I can actually stand on my own 2 feet and do what I want to do. I don't always need a I don't always need someone to be there for me to be able to have a good time. Of course, it's always more fun. It's always more fun the more the merrier you are. You know, 3 people, 4 people, a whole entourage of people. You know, but at the same time, if you can't have it, it shouldn't stop you from having fun, because there's a lot of things that I missed out on because I didn't want to go out and show myself as, oh no, but I can't go there because I don't have anyone to be with that at that event. And I missed out on a lot of events. And told myself I'm never going to let that happen again, because as far as I know, this is one life that I'm being given, and I want to remember it, because I don't want to end up 60 years old in an old home or something like that and look back on my life and say, what did I do? Oh, nothing, because I always waited for other people. You know, I want to remember my life as it was fun. I remember this, I remember that. I want to have memories. You know, I don't want to miss out on anything. So it's very funny because I keep seeing people when I'm taking the train or the bus or whatever to the city and stuff like that. I happen to see people that used to be bullies and people that used to do me a lot of bad stuff. And it's funny to see them sitting there and they can't recognize you. It's like, really? You can't recognize me? I know that I'm like, my memory is very up to point, but it's like, even though I still remember you because you look identical, you look a little different, you look very tired, you look very different. God only knows what you've been dabbling in. But it's so funny that they can't recognize you and they're not on your level. They can't see you because you guys aren't on the same level anymore, you know? And of course, people say, oh, bullies are they think they're the cooler people, and it's always going to be like that. But it's always funny to see how it changes and it switches. That the people that thought they were so cool and gangster and all that kind of shit is actually gonna be nothing later on in life. So it's going to be fun going back to my high school reunion and seeing where people ended up. Could be that people ended up really good. Could be that, and major props to them. But it will be interesting to see if they would be appropriate this time and not actually, whatchamacallit, they would be nice and actually saying, yeah, it was me and I'm different now. But at the same time, I'm thinking that they won't. There's some people that won't actually change, and I've met them. So.
Yeah. Although I haven't seen any of my old classmates since a long time ago. Actually, I didn't have that much of a I didn't have that many close friends at school. But still, I didn't mind because I knew that the friends that I had there One of them came back for a visit because she lives in Texas right now. But when I saw her, it was like as if nothing changed. We were totally talking and speaking like normal, and it was great. Actually, I started deleting people from my Facebook this past week that were from my class because I was like, "Oh, you just added me because you were feeling the nostalgia of leaving school. You don't care what I'm doing in my life, so away with you."
Exactly. Well, you need to weed out the people, you know?
Yeah.
Trust me, there's a lot of people that I weeded out, and you will end up maybe with no one. But then it goes to show that, okay, I'm not going to be around these poisonous people. There's no time for people to have people in your life that are going to be constantly pushing you down, you know? So it's one of the things that I thought was very interesting about GamerX was that I wasn't afraid at all going there because I did know people that were going to be there. But it's so funny to see that even though like going to conventions, people tend to be a little to themselves or going towards people that they know. But it was very interesting to see that you could go up to anyone and just say, "Hi, my name is Anthony," and start talking, and everyone would be like standing there, sitting there, or whatever, talking with you, being completely nice to you, just as you've been friends forever. So it was like, oh my god, seriously? Like, so it was very including. I even said it during the video that Artur and what was his name? The German guy?
Jonah.
Jonah, yeah. I remember, I always tell myself, I love that name, but I keep forgetting about it. But yeah, during their films, they even asked me that, what do you think about GamerX? And I was like, one word, including. Definitely including. It was very, very good. It was it was very including. You could go up to someone just complimenting them on their cosplay, because I've seen that when I go to conventions here, I try to give compliments to people that I see are cosplaying, and some of them are like, "Oh my god, thank you so much," but some are like, "Why are you talking to me? Why are you being nice to me?" It's like, "Oh god, is it because you automatically think that I'm going to be saying something about you?" Because cosplayers do get a lot of shit thrown at them, I know that. But you could at least have a little open mind, and over there people will be like, "Oh my god, thank you so much," you know? Just like with Lani, you know, and Sean and all of those other people. So, Akasha, for instance. Yes.
And so, from Boston Harbor to the Bay Area, good night, good morning, across the nation, around the world, whenever, wherever. This is Neshoba, signing off.